Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be talking about something that's been coming up on my timeline quite frequently in different formats, granted, but the same idea, let us say. Social media literacy is, I feel like, I don't necessarily want to say an all-time low because I truly believe in the fact that things can always get worse, but shit's pretty bad out there. I don't know about you guys, but there have been posts coming up on my timeline that have been displaying two overlapping problems. One of them is, I don't like throwing around the term misogyny, truly not, because it is that serious, but let's just say misogyny, if not a very particular bias against women, okay? So I've been seeing an overlap of that and media illiteracy. I've been seeing a lot of people saying a lot of shit online these days, and it's just very obvious when you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, and if you catch my drift, if you understand what I'm referring to, okay. This post came up on my feed. Personally, I enjoy these videos because I enjoy any type of video where you can tell that the person is, as far as we can tell, obviously we don't live her life, we don't know, but it looks like someone is improving, someone's doing better, and I don't mean that just on the outside. I do love seeing glow up videos, clearly, those are fun. But it's a different thing when you see someone who seems to do better outside because they're doing better inside. Does that make sense? So I really did not think there was going to be debate over this video. Once again, Twitter will always surprise me with the new lows we encounter. At this point, we are so low, we are getting close to the center of planet Earth. That is how far below the ground we are. We're gonna read a couple of the comments, but let me just say the post that I came across said this. It was a quote tweet. "Women will turn their life around after a breakup and not understand that that justifies the breakup so much more. Why couldn't that glow up happen while you were with your man?" To me, this seems like a mind-numbingly stupid question, not because I necessarily know the answer, but with any power of deduction, you might come to the conclusion that some shit was wrong. Whether it had to do with a relationship or not, or if it was a personal struggle that has nothing to do with prior significant other, clearly something was amiss, right? I don't think you need to be fucking Einstein to figure that one out. So immediately, I think it's very weird to see someone making improvements in their own personal lives, within their own personal context, and blame them for not making it earlier because that justifies getting dumped. Have you guys been in a real relationship before? Because that's, I mean, ideally, that's not how it works. And as much as people want to blame her, and I do think it's everyone's personal responsibility to take care of their bodies, let us be clear, it's also like the situations you're in can make it easier or harder to do that. Let's look at the comments, because really that's where my ever-dwindling faith in humanity just... Being divorced is now something to be proud of? We are in dark days, men. Okay. Let us rewind a second. In the video, in the clips she shows where she's married, there is literally a clip where she's crying. I don't think that was randomly put there. I think it was put there to demonstrate that there were some issues and that she wasn't happy, or else that wouldn't have been a clip that she put in as representative of when she was married. So nobody said she was proud of being divorced. She's probably proud of getting out of a situation that was not beneficial to her. You're allowed to be proud of that. If getting divorced means that you can work on yourself, that you can be happy or whatever, why shouldn't you be proud that you're making a good choice for yourself? This is why I'm weirded out by this entire thread. It's very backwards to me because you can't win. Let me tell you why you can't win. We have this particular woman. She decides she's not happy in the relationship for whatever reasons, or the relationship ends for whatever reason. Okay, the relationship ends. That's all we know. After the relationship ends, she decides she wants to have a glow up, whether that means working out, whether that means changing your hair, whatever it is, she decides to do that and she's happier. If you do that, It's bad because you should have had the glow up while you were in the relationship, right? But if she had decided to stay in the relationship and continue to be miserable, then that's not okay either, because as some of these comments support, it makes sense that the partner would look outside the relationship since you're being such a bummer. So what was she supposed to do? She was supposed to continue to be miserable, but do it in a way that's pretty and makes you feel more comfortable. Is that what we're doing here? People always act like someone getting divorced means that they're saying everyone should get divorced, and that's really not it. It's about prioritizing your well-being and your happiness. So it was the marriage or man that made you fat, or you were lazy to keep your weight in check, blaming marriage and men for everything. Again, social media literacy. Where did she say it was her partner's fault? She showed herself during her marriage where she looks clearly unhappy. She never said it was the partner's fault. She never said it was her fault. She just showed you. And to me, it's interesting that people are so comfortable jumping to these conclusions. The same way I'm not jumping to say, oh, her significant other was definitely toxic, abusive, terrible. No, it just could have been a mismatch. It just could have been something that they thought was going to work and didn't. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. It doesn't have to be tragic. Sometimes things just don't work out and it's just like a quiet separation. So I don't understand why these people are projecting all this shit. And it's also weird to me, and I know that this is Twitter, so by definition, people are going to look for a problem, which, again, I'm a relatively negative person. So if I'm telling you that you're being negative, you're in a very bad place. Basically, throughout this thread, there are people also just posting memes about like women not taking accountability. Some of this stuff is straight up misogynistic. Like there's no point in pretending they're not. Someone said, useless people making divorce look glamorous. Again, the social media literacy. And the thing that is terrifying to me is that a lot of these people are the same people who are going to be making statements at some point on their Instagram story, probably sharing the exact same story that all the celebrities have on one side or the other about the war. And it's like, bro, you can't even understand a TikTok post. I don't know if you really should be talking about geopolitical issues, but I'll just leave that there. I'm not going to get started on all of that. Some people are going as far as to say that this is PR for divorce. Like, how unhinged can you be to get that as a message from this? And again, we also need to return to one of the central things that I think we're having a problem with. And it actually does concern me, because as much as some people here are just misogynistic or just trolling or whatever, I really do think a large number of people don't understand the implied messages in a lot of these, right? Because anyone with, I don't know, a 90th of a brain cell will understand that this is her personal trajectory. In no place here are we advertising, hey, get married just so you can get divorced and lose weight because it's so glamorous and fun to go through a divorce. It's definitely not traumatic, definitely won't potentially fuck up your kids, definitely has no issues, definitely you won't lose money. Like, nobody signs up to want to get divorced. Nobody is doing PR for divorce, okay? And if they are, now that's someone who's unwell, because realistically, as much as there are plenty of people who are happy to get divorced because they are in bad situations, no one's end goal from the get-go was this. This doesn't look glamorous to me. This looks like she put in work and she's trying to heal from whatever was going on. And then the funny thing is that there are women in these threads. Now that's where I get a little bit more worked up, because a lot of the women in these threads, I've gone to a couple profiles. I'm not going to post them. I've gone to a couple profiles. Women's empowerment. Women are each other's sisters. Feminism. Where is that? Is the feminism in the room with us? Is women's empowerment here? Because honestly, I don't see it. You're here criticizing another woman for a personal choice that has no effect on you whatsoever. Literally has nothing to do with you, does not change your life, does not affect your rights, and you're here shitting on her for doing that without knowing any of the context. And clearly from the video, what she wanted you to see is that before she was miserable and now she's happy and thriving. Why couldn't you just be happy for her? Because that doesn't seem very woman empowerment-y to me. But I digress. Feminism is convenient until it comes to dragging down another woman, and then there you are. So now granted, there are plenty of people who are into women's empowerment who actually are, but typically it's not the people who have to scream it off the rooftops that actually live that truth. But anyway, you guys can let me know. I feel like I've been seeing a lot more of these like weird misogynistic posts that seem to appear out of nowhere and for no real reason, which is, like I said, alarming, mainly because people are missing the entire point of what they're viewing, which in this day and age, if they don't understand what they are viewing, do you see how messy this could get? Now, this is like a micro example, right? If we start here and they're misunderstanding something so simple, where are we going in terms of, like I said, politics, because Twitter is very saturated with that these days? Where are we going with the news? Anyway, you guys can let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to my patrons as always, and I'll catch you guys next time.